Super. BS. Well, here we are. We're back again, back from the dead and ready to break some bread. It's I, baby boy Brank, lovable baby boy Brank, with Super BS, a podcast about video games mostly. We're on Instagram at Super BS Gamescast, and you can email us at superbsgamescast@gmail.com. But not enough about that stupid shilling with you guys. Below, I'm joined by somebody so wicked, so evil, so despised. Reveal yourself, despised one. Despised one, reveal yourself. It seems
despised one, reveal yourself.
Glassman and I. Okay, so since despised one is dead, Glassman,
yes, sir.
Please reveal yourself.
There we go. Sorry.
We go.
I couldn't hear anything. I couldn't hear
Okay.
you. No, I'm good. I'm good. All right.
Okay. You're talking to the stream too. I love this, having headphone issues. That's the most thing that people want to know is like when people join the stream is like, hey, what's going on?
For some reason, I thought that was the private chat, but apparently I was wrong.
The public chat's where it belongs. Okay. So, anyways, we'll get back to the original reveal. Despise one who's wicked. Please reveal yourself.
I am the despised one who can hear now what you guys are saying. I have ears.
No, take his ears off.
Oh.
Okay, despised one. We're also joined by someone we like to call the Glassman. Glassman, reveal yourself.
I guess I'm the Glassman. Great to be here again.
Hooray!
Still making my way through Avowed.
Making my way downtown. I won't sing anymore, or else they will come after
me
because I'm too good.
You know, I was telling you before we went on the show, you said, have you tried AC Shadows? I was like, yeah, I tried AC Shadows. And I'm like thinking, do I want to go ahead and take the time, play, as many late nights as I can, building up another character, going through another meaningless story to me, and instead of go ahead and play a character that I'm overpowered on, can blow away any of the faces or threats that's put against me, and finish that off after 64 plus hours. So I'm
gonna do it. He said he just 100%. He guaranteed he will 100% Assassin's Creed Shadows.
No, I did not. I will not. I'm not gonna 100%. There's some platforming things that I cannot do with my character that I need to go ahead and build up a lot more if on another character in order to go ahead and do it. So I can't 100% everything, but finishing the story, 64 plus hours, I'm getting my money's worth up Games Pass.
And just to remind everyone, he's talking about Avowed. Assassin's Creed Shadows is the one he promised to platinum next, but he's talking about Avowed. He is 64 hours.
Because MLB The Show's coming back. I told you how much I liked last year. 33 Immortals. I gave a little bit of a try. That seems intriguing. And then we've got hopefully Oblivion on the way.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit in our Nintendo Switch 2 rumors, wink, wink, a little bit later, because we got a lot of Nintendo Switch news to talk about. But before we get to all the cool Switch news and all the other news, let's go through a rundown of some big games that came out recently. I'm going to see if you're watching us live. I'm going to share with you my screen. And this is one that the Glassman and I himself, we played. This is 33 Immortals.
Wrong browser, close it.
Oh, yeah, I know, man. This is the wrong browser, bros. Sorry that you're seeing something so cool. I meant to show you Hello Kitty Island. No, 33 Immortals is pretty cool. I don't know how far you are, Gerald, yet. You've been playing.
Well, I just started. I just played one session of it, just briefly, just to get to interact with it and get the feel of it. But yeah, doing something like this, yes, it does have a lot of vibes from Hades and other stuff, but in a way feels kind of like the old days when I used to go ahead and to the arcades and play Gauntlet. And,
that's what I was saying.
It looks like, in and
like
throwing people, just like 4 people against the world. This is 33 people against the underworld.
Really busy game.
Yeah, it's
enemies.
I think 33 Immortals is just like a fun Hades-like, if you will. It has a lot of similarities to Hades, except for it's got a little bit more roguelite elements where you can upgrade your character through each run. Well, not each run. Once you get enough of a certain currency, you can upgrade your character's health or attack or whatever you want to do. But the fun niche catch to it is every time you enter the world, the main game, I should say, because you can unlock keys and make it more challenging. You enter a world with 32 other players, so 33 players total, and you can run around doing little dungeons with them and stuff, and they're just always there. You don't have to talk to them, you don't have to do whatever, but they're there playing with you, and the game's kind of created so you guys interact with each other.
Do you have to help them if they like die or get close to dying? Is there like
you can help them? Yeah, you can
medic?
revive them. You don't have to do anything, but yeah, you can revive them if they're on the ground. The idea is, you want as many of them to survive as possible because at the very end, I would assume, I haven't gotten there yet, you fight a boss, right? And I assume once you beat the boss, you probably unlock the next zone, which is, I want to say 24 Immortals or 22. I can't remember which one it is. Probably 22 because
there's 11, 22, and 33.
So all multiples of 11, our favorite number here. But
this is not even a full game, just to give everybody else.
Yeah, it's early access.
Yes.
But it's a very cool thing. It's by Thunder Lotus. If you guys remember them, they're the people who made Spirit Fair, which Josh, I want to say that you liked that one a lot a few years back. Mm-hmm. They also made Jotun and a game called Sunder, which their big thing is they always do like these hand-drawn animated cartoon visuals that kind of remind me of like The Hobbit, the 1970s film, not the Peter Jackson 2012, if I'm correct, film. But yeah, it's just like a very, very cool visual style. If you're watching us live, you're seeing it. Okay, you're seeing it, you're loving it. Did you get a play?
You know what would be cool, guys, though? If we could actually do this and interact like this while showing people what the action's like on YouTube live like this, while we interacted and did our show, and we could still be playing at the same time. That would be really cool.
Now you're cooking. I love that. But anyways, there's 4 classes that I've unlocked so far. There's sword, daggers, bow, and like a staff, and you can
the bow, as I'm told by a lot of people, is the best.
Yeah, but I think you want to have all the different classes together, or else you don't have anybody to like take aggro, if you will, right, from all the enemies. There's just a lot of fun pieces. I do wish it was a game that I had a lot of friends playing, because it would be fun to enter that world with like 10 of your friends and run around. Like 32 friends would be. Nobody has 32 friends. Okay, 33 Immortals. Stop making us feel bad about our amount of friends. Okay, it should be 4 Immortals, so we can have we all 3 other friends. Anyways, I think that game is really, really good. I have also played a little bit of a game I like to call, and I'm going to share this one with you guys right now, and I named it, so that's why I'm able to call it this. It is called Atomfall. I don't know if you guys got a chance to turn this on. It looks a lot like Fallout. Okay, go ahead.
Just a little bit. Yeah, it's because it is a lot like Fallout. And
your favorite game, which you mentioned previous episodes.
I don't know why I got this one confused with Atomic Heart. So someone kept asking if I played Atomfall. I was like, yeah, I played that one already.
They look pretty similar, but yeah, Atomfall just came out. Atomic Heart was 2 years ago, I think, or no, last year, I think, at the beginning, 2024. Anyways, Gerald, what was your issue with how much you love Fallout?
It's slow. It's just slow. I need something that hits me right away, because again, I'm taking me away from Avowed. If you're going to take me away from Avowed, hit me with something hard, fast, and good right away.
You're taking him away from Assassin's Creed Shadows, okay? The game he already promised this podcast he's going to 100% get every single collectible. He needs all the time to finish that game, okay? So don't show him anything slow in Atomfall. I will say, though, as somebody who did love Fallout 3 quite a bit, I've enjoyed what I've played of Atomfall. Do I wish it didn't come out like maybe it was a week after, but it felt like a few days after Assassin's Creed Shadows, because that has been a lot of fun for me. Yeah, I wish it had come out a little bit later, because it is a lot of fun, but I just don't have the time currently to invest in it. Are you going to play it, Janky?
Yeah, I mean, it looks cool. I like I said, I thought that this was the other game for some reason, but now that I'm seeing this footage, I could be tempted to pick it up and check it out for sure.
I'm just gonna say again, this. I mean, I just wish this was the beginning of this generation, because then we could go back to the tribal wars where Xbox, because Xbox would just have to show you all this right now. And if Xbox gamers had this kind of selection, or potential gamers had this type of selection, Xbox would have been so much substantially more competitive in the marketplace, because all we're talking about right now are games that you can get on Game Pass.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
free as part of Game Pass. I don't think this one's on PS5 yet, but it's a PC and Game Pass game, I believe. I could be wrong about it being on.
No,
PS5.
I believe you are correct. And 33 Immortals, same thing. That's just PC and Game Pass.
Oh no, this is also on PS5. I didn't.
Oh, it is
know
on
that.
PS5
Yeah.
with Atomfall? Okay.
Okay, but yeah, so it is part of Game Pass though. So if you don't want to pay extra for it, you got it there. I've enjoyed it. The combat is very like tough. If you get hit and the guys get too close, you're just dead immediately. And like Gerald said, it starts with a pretty slow start. You're not like rushing into battle, and it's meant to be played as like a slow game. Like you don't know what your goal is. You're just kind of walking around and wandering. In some ways, I kind of love it for that. It's like a beautiful game where they're leaving you to explore. But I will say, it just requires the right time or the right person to want it. And unlike a lot of the games that are similar to it, BioShock, etc., I don't think this one has supernatural elements. So the idea that I'm just going to be playing through a normal game with, crafting and guns, it's slightly less interesting than if I knew I was going to get like Breath of the Wild or BioShock like upgrades. But I've been digging that. I love it, love it, love it. Have you guys, before we get to the biggie, I've got one more to talk about, but have you guys been playing anything fun? Janky? Have you been playing an Assassin's Creed that shall not be named?
I bought Assassin's Creed Mirage for $10.
Beat it. He 100% of that game.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this a little bit outside the cast, but I could never imagine myself paying $30 for that game. But then I saw it at Walmart. I went to Walmart to buy. Okay, I'll just tell you the whole story here. Went to Walmart with hopes of buying Assassin's Creed Shadow. Walmart apparently has not gotten any copies yet, and neither has Target. And I don't know about GameStop, but I don't know if it's just like my location, or if there's something like Ubisoft is not able to send out that many copies, or if the new tariffs have kicked in and it's causing a disruption to the supply chain for games. I don't know, man, but that was just really weird because
they don't like you.
That's it. It must be. But I mean, you could go to anytime Ubisoft releases a game, you go to any store and they have like, 10, 15 copies in stock. And this time they just had none. So anyways, long story short, I was there and I saw Assassin's Creed Mirage on PS5 for $10. And I was like, you know what? I feel like that's an acceptable price for this. So I picked it up.
You beat it?
Yeah. No, I don't like the main character. Like I didn't like him in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I don't like him now still.
Bossum? Is that his name?
Yeah. So I don't I'll keep playing it, but I see after playing it for a couple hours, like I see why it was not looked at as like an amazing entry in that franchise.
Are we back to, though, at least single kill assassinations, meaning like you don't have to assassinate and then fight after a while because they still have health left?
Yeah. I mean, unless you botch it, but
how do you botch it?
Well, if you get up close and you mess up on your sneak, and instead of like sticking the knife right in, you just like slash them, because it's all about timing. Yeah, because if you're about to stab them and they notice you right before, like you'll just hear this like whoosh, go across, and it'll be a slash, and then they'll push you away and start fighting you. But
that's funny. Okay, so we're going to be talking about a much bigger Assassin's Creed game here in a minute, and they do not have that mechanic at all. So
because I mean the same thing happened in Valhalla though, when you messed up on assassinating people.
I don't remember Valhalla's game. I mean, I played it like 2 weeks ago for like 10 minutes. I don't remember that game very well, even having just played it. It is, it's an Assassin's Creed I'd rather forget. I think after Odyssey, they should just taken a break. Valhalla was too big, and I don't think it had anything really.
It would have been. I mean, it's not one I'd rather forget. Like I did enjoy the I enjoyed the world. The world was massive, but I enjoyed parts of it. If it were a lot smaller, like the Odyssey was a lot. There was more places to go, more things to do in the world. The world, I don't know which map was bigger, but like Odyssey, it felt
Valhalla
like
was twice as big, they said.
was it? Okay, yeah, because Odyssey felt like while you were traveling a lot, like there were things to do, places to go, people to talk to. Valhalla just had a massive map with not that much to do on it. But anyways, like I thought it was all right. I just feel like it was too big and too long,
Odyssey had a lot of diversity in its map, which is something that we'll discuss when we get to AC Shadows. But before we get there, I want to talk about a Nintendo game. I know everybody on this podcast, specifically Gerald, loves his Switch, and he's talking about it nonstop every day. We did a Switch deep dive, and Gerald was the #1 Switch fan. So I have to bring up this. I picked up a little game we like to call Xenoblade Chronicles X. For some odd reason, I own all 4 Xenoblade Chronicles on Switch. I have never finished one. I played this one for about 5 hours. I did dig it, but it made me want to go play Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is the much more linear and focused version of this game. Whereas this game is a lot of fun. It's kind of like you run around, just hit things. There is an openness to it where you'll accidentally stumble across a monster's nest and they will kill you immediately, and you will have to restart from the area. So that frustrated me quite a bit. Whereas Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a much more like, oh, hey, you go down this path for a bit. We're going to walk you through what you're supposed to do. And it's also a lot shorter. This game is supposed to be well over 100 hours. You make your character so they have no personality at all. They added some stupid idea where you have to respond to questions, even though there's no reason to respond. There's some dumb decisions, but the game itself, pretty fun, pretty neat. I do want to play more of it. If you're watching on the screen, it is very like futuristic and fun. But it's kind of like an offshoot. It kind of has nothing to do with Xenoblade Chronicles 1, 2, or 3. And you get mechs later, which looked really cool. But I am not there. I heard it's about 40 hours to unlock the mechs. So I do not know if I'll get there.
So, okay, I'm just I don't know to the Xenoblade games. Like I played, 1 and 2. So I'm not, but I don't. I know this is a remaster, remake, right, or a re-release.
This is the one that came on the Wii U.
Yes, this is a Wii U game. Okay. It was one of the last Wii U games besides like Nintendo Land, which I don't think is going to ever come out on anything. That was on Wii U. That was trapped there. That and like the Star Fox game, right? Those are the only 2 I can think of left that Nintendo made. But yeah, this was the big title on Wii U. It'd come out, I want to say, close to the end of the Wii U's life cycle. And it is a Xenoblade Chronicles game pretty much in name mostly, and some similar themes and art
2017 styles. I believe, because I was watching an update on it yesterday. So yeah, 2017 it came out.
2017 was the year of the Switch. So it was, it came out like at the very end of that thing.
So that's where we're at on remastering. If it's 2017, 8 years, there you go.
It's I mean, hey, it's better than Last of Us Part 1. That game had a remaster in 2014 and then came out again a couple years ago. I mean, I guess the time difference is a little bit more, but that one felt like less necessary. This was trapped on a system that 13 million people owned, or 30 million, like some crazy low number, and you couldn't play it unless you own that system. So a lot of the Switch ports I give a pass to because there's no good way to play these games. So I'm like more open to the idea of like, okay, Last of Us Part 1 you could play on your PS5. And you can play a pretty good version. The PS4 version isn't that bad. Anyways, Xenoblade Chronicles pretty good. It did make me start playing Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Let's get to the biggie. We were originally going to talk a lot about this whole series, but with some Nintendo news sneaking in today, we're going to do one last talk about this game, and then we're going to be all Nintendo and maybe a little bit of news before that, but all Nintendo all day, every day. The biggie that the elephant in the room that we've all been meaning to talk about, the one that has no controversies at all, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I think.
Oh, I thought it was the one Josh wanted to talk about that he mentioned in the text.
Oh, was that one? Yes, that one that Josh wanted to talk about. We're never going to talk about that one. Hey, Gerald, I think you and I are the only 2 people who played it, even though Josh promised us on this podcast that he was going to own it.
He's the AC guy. That's the thing. He is the AC guy.
Well, I'm the AC guy. Gerald, I'm the AC guy now, okay? Because I'm the only one who's played almost all of them, I guess.
Well, this is the last. Okay, well, this to me is the last. This is the first AC game that I played or even looked at as far as actually put in, played, turned it on, whatnot, since just the eyeballs looking at me in Unity.
You loved
Yeah,
Unity.
I saw that. I turned it off on Unity. Never got back to it. Assassin's Creed series since against this one. Like I'm still in the prologue. Still got
that's
a
100
long
hours
way to go.
in the prologue.
Yeah.
100 hours in.
Yeah, seemingly. But it's a beautiful game. I'll give it the fact that it's one of the best looking games out there in the marketplace. But I'm not sure it's going to resonate with everybody. It hasn't resonated with me so far. But it doesn't mean it's not a good game. It's just not. I'm not
a
getting
top
into
tier.
it like I like. Yeah.
It's
tell me about Yasuke. Tell me about Yasuke's gameplay. That's what we're all dying to know.
Before we get to Yasuke's gameplay, I want to tell you what I think about it, okay? I, unlike Gerald, I am finished with Chapter 1. The game is 3 chapters with a prologue and an epilogue, so 5 chapters in total. I'm on Chapter 2. I've played for about 13 hours. I unlocked Yasuke only 1 hour ago. He is not in most of the game. I found the game to be quite fun, but like all Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft games so far, the open world is a mess. There is a lot of icons, not nearly as many as previous games, but very few unique games to do, like very few mini games. The only mini game that's there is like a button pressing combo thing where you meditate. And after, if you guys remember Ghost of Tsushima, there were a lot of different mini games, different like wood chopping and all this stuff, and they all kind of helped you grow. The game is really set on like, hey, you get mastery points, which help you unlock your skills, and you get knowledge points by doing these very specific missions, and you need to get those to unlock kind of the levels of the skill tree, right? There's like 6 levels, I think, of the skill tree, and you have to get 10 knowledge points each time, so that means you have to do 10 find lost pages or 10 button pressing things. But besides like looking around the world, there's that. So that gets to everything before we talk about Yasuke.
What is the tower situation? How many things can I climb and jump off of?
So the
synchronization.
I'll take care of that with Yasuke. So first, there are a ton of viewpoints in this game. There are probably more viewpoints in this Assassin's Creed than maybe any of them before, like way more than Odyssey. There are like nonstop viewpoints. I have unlocked probably 30 or 40 so far, and I don't even think I'm halfway done with the map. I'm almost positive. I think I've only been to 2 zones. So the interesting part about like all of the jumping off of the mountains and stuff that you're jumping off the viewpoints and going to hay is that once you unlock Yasuke, they were so dead set on making the game 2 different play styles, right? You play as Nawe, which is focused on stealth. Now, the problem is they gave Nawe enough combat ability that she kind of plays like Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio did, where you could, if you're good at parrying and good at dodging, you can stay alive and fight 40 or 50 people. No problem, right? So now I
thought you meant you try to like climb things and you don't quite stick to the things you actually want to climb and end up falling.
Well,
that's what I remember from Assassin's Creed 2.
That is in there too. They have a lot of the jank, but I'm more talking about how they created this character that I think is probably the most fun in terms of power dynamics Assassin's Creed character that they've had in years. I loved playing as Cassandra, but it is fun to go back to more of like an assassin, right? Like Nawe can fight up to 40 people if you get really good, but she's not designed to fight that. She's designed to stealth around, right? So like, hey, we want to do this, and we want to talk about this semi-historical. I mean, it's a historical character, but like the way they represent him isn't exactly historical. Yasuke, right? Yasuke was an African prisoner. I can't remember which country he was from, who got taken to Japan by, I want to say, the Portuguese. And one of the countries in Africa. Taken to Japan by the Portuguese. And then he was, I think, sold to Lord Oda Nobunaga or whatever, right? Who was ended up being the big warlord.
Yeah, he was like he's really fascinated with him too. Like that's why he was.
Yeah, so far I found the game to be really cool. I turned off immersive mode where the game plays out in Japanese with some Portuguese mixed in if the character speaks Portuguese because I wanted to just listen to everybody. And the English voice acting is great. But I will say, once I unlocked him, I was incredibly disappointed. While he is fun to play for chunks in the game, he is very frustrating to play for large portions because he cannot climb buildings at all. And just mind you, this is an Assassin's Creed game where mostly what you're going to be doing is climbing buildings. He can't do it. And on top of that,
when you try, does he make any noise or anything? Does he?
I don't know. I feel like he might make a grunt. I can't remember, but I know he can't climb buildings. And then the other issue he has is he can't stealth. So you have to play as a full combat character, and the combat's fine in the game. I just don't think it's like that good, right? So they create a game where you could play the whole game as Nawe, it seems like, outside of a few moments where you have to play as him. But you could also play as him. You just have to play as Nawe if you want to unlock the viewpoints, because he can't unlock them by himself. So it really is a frustrating dynamic that they create. I feel like they really flubbed the Yasuke idea and the idea that they were trying to do, which is this was going to be the first Assassin's Creed where you had two totally different character styles, right? You had the RPG character and the stealth character, right? And they nailed the stealth character outside of, and you can switch this as an option too, but outside of the idea of like when you assassinate, you'll only take off a certain amount of bars unless you're a certain level, right? Or you get these skills. You can turn that off so you can assassinate anybody day one, but I kept it with the basic gameplay options. Outside of that, though, yeah, your character is way more fun if you're stealthing around and killing guys, getting double assassinations, jumping from rooftops, hiding in the shadows, which they handled really well, where if you're not in the middle of like the fire, people can't see you. There's a lot of fun things. They had prone, crawling, all this stuff. Anyways, I've talked for a very long time. Gerald, Josh, do you guys have any questions about it? Do you have any more thoughts? Jank, are you going to get this game?
Yeah, well, as soon as I go somewhere that has it, yeah, of course I'm going to pick this up.
Just go to Walmart.
Walmart. That's
he's that physical. He's that physical guy now. He needs the physical copy.
He needs.
God forbid he'd get the digital.
You don't want those stinky digitals. They're only $10 off right now. You'd rather pay full price for those physicals. You can't pay $10 less for the digital like I did. What are you, a filthy? You have all the money in the world. You don't want to save those $10.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, hey, I don't want to save $10. What do you think I am? Poor?
Yeah.
So you gotta be aggressive about it. So no, I would pay $10 less and get digital if I were you, but you can pay full price because I know you love paying full price for it.
And I will absolutely.
Do you have any questions about the game or anything?
I just want to know, because I know the game lets you decide mostly on who you want to play as, but there are certain sections, whether it's to advance the story, what have you, that you have to play with one character or the other. Do you find that cumbersome, or do you find that refreshing that you've been playing with one character most of the time and said, you know what? Oh, well, they're asking me to play the other character. Okay, I could do this for a little while. Do you find it enjoyable or cumbersome when they force you to play a certain character for a certain level?
So I'll be honest with you. They've barely done that at all. I've played 14 hours and I've been forced to play as Yasuke twice. Once in the prologue and once when you unlock him. So I haven't even hit another moment yet where I've had to play as him. That's where I feel like the game does a disservice to his character and to him as a playable character at all. Because like I don't want to play as him because he's not a fun assassin and I don't have to play as him. So why would I play as him? Right? So to be honest with you, like I haven't even experienced that yet outside of like 2 cutscenes. So I don't know how often it will take place. I've heard the game's 60 hours, so I guess I'm a 6th or a 5th of the way through it. I don't know, man. I really don't know. It's crazy to think I've played a game for 15 hours or whatever, or 13 hours, something like that. It's been a long time. And I couldn't even tell you a lot about the other playable character because I just unlocked him. They make you do 2 full assassinations and then a full story quest, which you can unlock tons of side quests before you do that. Plus, you do a backstory kind of remembrance of your past for 4 different stories, which are also all 30 to 40 minutes apiece to do. So yeah, I just feel like they dropped the ball with him. Like I know I sound really negative. I actually have been pretty much enjoying this. I don't think I'm going to finish it, but I do think I'll probably get another 10 or 15 hours in. Like I've had a lot of fun running around Japan. I will say back to what Jank mentioned earlier, Japan is similar to Valhalla. It's not nearly as diverse an environment as Odyssey was, right? And I think you were only in the prologue, Gerald, but you must have also come across the idea of they really want you to stick to the paths. When you're not on the path, you'll go up these trails where there's just trees everywhere and you can't really go anywhere. Like that's not fun, right? Like you'll just fall and slide back down the hill because you aren't supposed to go that way. You're supposed to take the path each way.
I mean, I'll go back to Avowed. Why have I played 64 hours of Avowed when it's a game that I think you could probably beat in 25?
You probably, if you mainline, I think the game's designed to be played, maybe not 60.
Because I'm just like, I want to go. the looting's great, and I'll just go ahead and start doing some other stuff. The challenge and feeling overpowering. It's really good. Combat feels really, really nice. I'm just enjoying what I'm doing. So why do I need to go ahead and stay in the storyline? But sometimes you do, and I felt like you said, that if you try to deviate from that, it kind of punishes you in a way, or kind of just like smacks your hand. If I find that the game is actually smacking your hand a little bit, even in the slightest amount, for going in a different direction than what the main path tells you, in modern gaming, I find that a little bit offensive, just a little.
Yeah, it doesn't, especially when you call your game an open world game, right? I could let it slide for linear games where it's like, hey, you're gonna go through the story. Like I was playing, what was that game that came out right before Dead Space that no one liked from the creator of the original Dead Space?
Callisto Protocol.
Callisto Protocol. Thank you. I was playing that as part of Game Pass, and it's not very good, but it was pretty linear, and I had no problems with following the path. Right? The things I had issues with was the combat is just not fun in that game at all. But yeah, it's weird to call yourself an open world game and then be like, especially after Odyssey, Valhalla, and Origins let you kind of go wherever you want. There were very few areas where like, you can't go here. This one's like, hey, you're not going to be going on a lot of these paths, so you better stay on the main road. So it's a little weird, and also doesn't have like a follow main road, which they've had in previous Assassin's Creed games, Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, games are 7 years older, and you have to still manually ride your horse, right? There's no option to just be like, follow the path to the objective because this is 10 minutes away, and I just want to do something else while my character gets there. Especially because there's not many dynamic things happening. What, you fight a bandit every once in a while? It's not like there's a lot of interesting things happening in the game. Yeah.
Well, what about like compared to Ghost of Tsushima though? Like, what's is it like as far as the landscape, traversing the landscape compared to Ghost of Tsushima? What's that? What's the difference?
I think Ghost of Tsushima was more fun and handled everything a lot better between the mini games and having the Ronin style sword fights and all the other things. I just feel like Ghost was the better game. It came out 5 years ago now. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a lot of fun, but it's not. I just don't think it holds a candle to it. I know we have a few more things we want to talk about before we wrap up this podcast, one of which being all the Nintendo news that came down. We probably won't hit all of it, but we'll hit some of it. Before we get to the Nintendo news, Janky, you had something you want to talk about with dating animals and stuff, because I know you're a furry now. You mentioned something about that.
Well, when you phrase it like that, no. So this morning, Pocket Pair,
creators of Pal World.
Creators of Pal World announced a Pal World dating sim, and everyone was like, "Oh, it's because it's the 31st," and they're like, "Hey, it's a April Fool's joke."
Day.
But
yeah, I gotcha.
It wasn't, because last year this was their April Fool's joke, and this year they actually made it and released it right before April Fool's Day. But it's a real thing. Like, you go and for those of you that don't know, like Pal World, it's all about trying to solve the mystery of this giant tree that looks like the mana tree from the Mana series. But the game takes place inside the tree, where there's another world where like you're a high schooler and you're dating pals. Like, all the other pals go to high school with you, and you forge friendships or romances. And it's
I'm looking at pictures online right now. They're a little bit too inappropriate to share, but it is funny because it's called Pal World More Than Just Pals.
More Than Just Pals,
it is, yeah, it seems like it's a visual novel, and it is very funny they made this. It also is very, as the kids would say, horny. It is a ridiculous looking thing. I don't know who it's
Are
made
you sure
for.
Nintendo you want to win the court case and buy out?
They love games like this. Okay, honestly, if you go to the Switch eShop, you're gonna find way worse stuff than Pal World Just Pals or whatever, More Than Just Pals. No joke, the Switch eShop is loaded with smut.
It's got some stuff on there. Yeah,
it's a smut-filled factory. But yeah, that
is it.
Awesome.
Is it the WiiWare, the shovelware, the Wii shovelware of the 2020s?
It is. I mean, the Nintendo eShop is so bad. I want to say I had the first year it wasn't trash, and then I don't know what their their review process is, but everything's on there. Things that aren't even allowed on other consoles. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I don't know who's running that store, but it is not somebody who cares about the kids or whatever they're trying to do. Okay. So Pal World More Than Just Pals, which is our favorite game. It was just one game of the year for Super
Game of the year,
PS.
for sure. Yeah.
Okay, there was a Nintendo Switch Direct that was announced. We didn't get a record last week, but it would come out like right after we would have aired our episode. And it was, surprise, surprise, which all the leakers said, it was a Nintendo Switch Direct for Nintendo Switch 1 games, not Nintendo Switch 2. So before we get to our Nintendo Switch 2 predictions for the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that comes out April 2nd, and all the rumors that go along with that, this was a Switch 1 Direct. I'm only going to hit the biggest talking points because I think it was mostly pretty boring and uninteresting, but it talked about Metroid Prime 4. Did you guys get a chance to watch it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought it wasn't that great of a showing of Metroid Prime 4. Did you guys like it, or?
I mean, it didn't really give much away about the game.
No.
It was kind of just a trailer, so I'm not really sure what to expect.
We still don't have a date. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy they showed it again and still no date. The things that I think got the internet the most afire, I mean, they showed Dragon Quest HD 1 and 2 again, which seemed pointless because it was like, and if you're watching us right now live, we are just showing off somebody made a fan edit of Nintendo Switch 2 predictions. But the other things they talked about at the Nintendo Switch 1 Direct was Dragon Quest 1 plus 2 HD, which is cool. Still no date, so I don't know why they showed it. They probably just had to legally do it or some contractual agreement. And then they had Rhythm Heaven, which is an old, I want to say DS game. I don't even know if it made it to the 3DS, but like an old rhythm game on DS that people loved. And Tamagotchi Life. I want to say it's Tamagotchi, not Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi Life, which looks like one of those like weird Me style games where your characters live like sim lives, which is funny because there's a game called Inzoi that's like the hyper realistic Sims like game that just came out.
I saw a bit of that yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, that one's crazy looking, man. The Korean developed one. But yeah, so did Tamagotchi Life or Rhythm Heaven do anything for you guys? Did you see the trailers for that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much of a history with these games, but
okay.
Yeah.
Are you going to play them though, or you have no interest? Like, will you spend 60 or 70 on them?
No, probably not.
Okay, Gerald.
The only other Switch games that are probably going to be purchased by us are probably the Pokemons if they come out to the original Switch 1, because we're not a day one Switch 2 buyer.
You're not a day one. Okay, I'm a day one Switch 2 buyer. We'll talk about that.
And
soon,
the thing is, it's convenient that it comes. Whatever announcement that's made by Nintendo comes on the same day other tariffs might be introduced. So
yeah,
they might have to go like right in the middle of the presentation. The price is. Oh, we're sorry. It's this now.
It's increasing. It's doubling. Yeah, that would sting. I am day one Switch 2 in it. I cannot wait. I heard it might even go up for pre-order either on April 2nd or April 9th. That's the rumor.
At Best Buy, I talked about that. Yeah, I heard that too.
I'm pretty excited. But overall, the Switch 1, besides that, the only other interesting tidbit was that both Patapon and Everybody's Golf, or whatever it's called, which used to be called Hot Shots Golf, two originally Sony exclusive titles, are coming to Switch 1. So Patapon 1 and 2 HD and Everybody's Golf, whatever the subtitle is. So yeah, it was a pretty, I guess to be expected, uninteresting Direct, right? It's the Switch 1 at the time where the Switch 2 is about to be announced, and it felt like they just had to do it, but it was funny nonetheless. Okay. Switch 2 Direct predictions. We don't need to go over a lot of them. Let's talk about the real quick rumors already. And then each of us, I want to give one prediction for the game that we are going to see April 2nd. So before we talk about our predictions, each of us, just one prediction, not much. Let's talk about the big rumors that were just announced recently. One of them is that Final Fantasy IX, a very, very big favorite of this podcast. We are huge Final Fantasy fanboys. Okay, we've been playing all the Final Fantasy games for a long time. That's supposedly coming out soon. Square just did something on their website, and it seems like it could be announced during the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. You guys see that?
Yeah, I did. I've been following that story today, and I hope so. I hope it's real. I mean, I don't know if I'd play it on the Switch 2. I'd probably hold out and get on the PS5 if it was to release on that platform. But I would. That's always been one of my favorite Final Fantasy entries, and I would love to go back to that world. And if that is, if the Switch 2 is my vehicle to do it, then so be it, man. But if they make that announcement, they're gonna make a lot of people really happy.
And if you guys are watching right now, we're having a little bit of a screen where somebody created like mock-ups of what a Final Fantasy IX visuals could look like. I don't know if they'll go this far into the remake, but this is what someone created online. Gerald, are you a big Final Fantasy fan?
No.
Okay, so you're buying it day one. You're going to buy a Switch 2 just for this.
Actually, Final Fantasy 16, that's the one that
the PS5 one.
That's the one that kind of went more action.
Yes.
That's the one I want to play of the Final Fantasies.
Well, it'll probably come on Xbox here in a year or so, or this year.
Or a year or so. That's the one I may go ahead and get into. But not a huge Final Fantasy fan. I do know, of course, it's been revered. But the problem is this also an IP? We talk about this all the time. Is this an IP for older gamers? Are younger audiences, Gen Z, 25-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 20-year-olds in that range, are they still hyped up about Final Fantasy? Anything, whatever number they put in front of it.
And I think I'm always going to come back to the idea that, like, they, in my opinion, 18 years old and under don't matter because they don't buy things. So my thoughts are like really the majority of the money is coming from people with disposable income. So like,
well, let me get back to you on this. I mean, with Monster Hunter Wilds selling over 10 million so far, somebody's buying that. That must be resonating with a younger audience.
I think that's resonating with 30-year-old pluses because everybody I've talked to who's in their 30s is picking up Monster Hunter Wilds. I've multiple people I've spoken to.
In their 30s. I just said in their 30s, not in their 50s.
I'd say in their 50s too, specifically 30s through 50s only. No, but I will say like it is geared towards people with now disposable incomes who maybe have families, maybe don't, but they work jobs and can get things. Whereas like an 18-year-old who works at McDonald's, how are they going to have any money? You know what I mean? To like buy anything, let alone a game.
To Gerald's point though, I mean, when we were in high school, right? Like we paid attention. There was a diverse gaming ecosystem out there, and we paid attention to the releases, right? Like we go out and we buy the new Final Fantasies, we'd buy the Mass Effect, we play the Call of Duties too. And
when we're in college, we should add.
When we're in college, yes, but also like these games now, because I teach and I coach esports, and these kids, like, they know the games they know Super Smash Brothers, but other than that, they know Roblox and Minecraft, like
free
that's
games.
And Call of Duty, that's the gaming ecosystem they're growing up in. So
they're free.
They don't really they're free games, but so they don't really have a reason or motivation to go out and pick up some of these older titles that are really amazing, or some of these games from these older franchises, which is really sad, So I understand what Gerald is saying, and hopefully something changes here soon. But like I said, these games like Minecraft and Roblox, they never end, and these kids just play them for eternity. Fortnite, yeah.
So I think what we're seeing is, though, those parents don't want to spend the little income they have left because it's going to groceries and food on games for their kids.
Do kids
Who knows?
Want those
they
games,
don't get those options though anymore, right? Like when I was a kid,
they could just go free to play and grind forever.
Yeah, when I was a kid, we didn't have free to play games, so I would beg my parents for new releases. Right? When there was a new release like Fable, I talked to them about it so I could get it because I didn't have income on my own. Till I was in college, I couldn't just go out and buy every single game that I wanted. I had to ask my parents for it, right? So
that was like, I had a job at 16, so I mean that's when I was able to start. I think I was a sophomore, started buying my own video games. But I understand.
But I'm just saying though, that's the biggest thing is once you have your own money, then you start mattering in terms of the economy. And a lot of these kids, they kind of matter for Nintendo, and like maybe Final Fantasy IX won't be it, but Mario and stuff the parents will get. But really, like a lot of these other titles, the Monster Hunter Wilds, I would be surprised if over 5% of those people are under the age of 18. I would bet that 90% plus are over the age of 18 who picked up Monster Hunter Wilds. I bet if we could find that number, it would be so small. And if you're talking about 12-year-olds to 15-year-olds, I bet it's 1%, 2%. It's a game with really bad online co-op and next to nothing for them that hits their, like, fast ADHD style brains, where we get all of the things that we want immediately, right? And none of it's Fortnite. In Monster Hunter Wilds, can you play as Darth Vader against Harry Potter? No, right? Like that's just not how these games work. Okay, one other big rumor is, and we've talked about this so many times on this episode, but the rumor is it might come to the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. Oblivion. We've said that it's supposed to come out in April, right? And there is a chance that it's just going to be a light remaster, which would put it in a perfect Switch 2 camp, right? And with Microsoft saying they're going to heavily support the Switch 2, rumor being Halo Master Chief Collection, Gears of War, pretty much every big Microsoft game, I could definitely see Oblivion being a huge ticket item to try to get, again, that 30 to 50s, 30 to 60s crowd, right? Like the crowd that is like mainly play still. Are you guys expecting it on Wednesday or no?
It's rumored to come out on
one.
No, Oblivion. Do you guys think it will be there at the Nintendo Switch Direct?
I'm expecting one Xbox game to be there.
Oh, you're saying one. Sorry, one game. I thought you were
one game from Xbox to be part of it.
Okay.
I think. I don't know if it's Oblivion, but I do expect one game from the Xbox Pantheos to probably be part of that.
What do you think they'll lead with something like Halo?
Could be.
Jake, what do you think?
I don't think we'll see any Xbox games on the Switch 2.
You don't think you'll see any Xbox games at the Switch 2 Direct on Wednesday, April 2nd?
No.
If we were betting on this podcast, I would bet you quite a bit of money right now because that is I'm almost guaranteeing. I almost think it's a guarantee.
This is an opportunity. Like Nintendo they're showing off new hardware. Mm-hmm. They're going to make this all about them. Like they're not going to, I don't foresee them giving any time to Microsoft.
But Josh, I disagree with you one assessment on that because the Switch 2 will have enough power as say
a PS4,
supposedly a PS4, Xbox One, that era. You will probably see them embrace, or more third parties embrace the Nintendo Switch 2. We talked about the previous generation Nintendo Switch, which were the two entities to thrive. Nintendo first party and indie games were the ones to really thrive outside of like Hogwarts Legacy or something like that. For the most part, we didn't see third parties thrive on the Nintendo Switch. I have a feeling that Nintendo's going to embrace third party games, and all of these games you saw between 2015 and 2022, a lot of them are going to get some love and shine in here, at least within the first 2 years of development of the Switch 2. I think you're going to see a ton of that over the course of that time, and you're going to see some of that in the Nintendo Direct, at least a little bit, just to get people excited about familiar titles in the library that are not just Mario and Zelda.
I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, I'm not saying it won't happen, but I'll believe it when I see it happen.
I guess Janky didn't read about the phased rumor. Did you guys read about that, Gerald?
No.
The 3-phased rumor where phase 1 will be Nintendo Switch first-party games. This is supposed to be the rumor for how they're setting up the Nintendo Switch 2 launch, and it will come out in June. Phase 2 will be third parties, specifically Microsoft and a couple others coming out in October, November-ish time. And then phase 3 will be the big heavy hitter Nintendo title for the holidays. So they're going to start with Nintendo titles, and they're going to end the year with Nintendo titles, but they want to give supposedly a 2-month window for third parties to take focus. So I do think we're going to see at least one Microsoft title, potentially more tomorrow. Okay, so we're running out of time hot fast now. Each of us, one prediction of what we will see. No Mario Kart 9. One prediction of what we will see at the Nintendo Switch Direct or Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. And it can't be the price, okay? If you're going to say the price, that's going to be it. Sorry. We're doing one prediction of what we're going to see software-wise. We're also going to predict the price, each of us. So, Glassman, I want you to kick it off. You got to give us a prediction of something we're going to see there and the price of the Switch 2.
GTA 5.
Oh,
on the Switch 2.
That'd be crazy.
And I said 450. I already talked about this before with Josh on the Cosmos. I think 450 is the number I'm looking at. Okay. Although, again, if any tariffs come by, they might have to just right in the middle of it. And, just like, sorry, $900, everyone. But I'm saying 450 at this time.
That would be so insane, though, if they ever change the price midstream. That would be like historically remembering, whatever or something, because you'd never forget, right? Being like,
that would go back to the E3 that it was at 2014, the debut of the Xbox One, PS4. when they had that. Yeah, one of these days we need to have a full show on that one where they had the reveals, and within a 48-hour period of time, you saw the entire landscape of the video game marketplace change within that landscape just by the actions of those two companies.
Don Matrix. Don Matrix destroyed
the Don
the
Matrix,
Xbox.
the nuclear submarines, the whole 9 yards. Yeah. Don't want to get into that at some point in time, but I'm probably going to say 450 for me.
Okay. Janky, give us a prediction about a piece of software we're going to see and the price of the Switch 2.
Odyssey 2 or a new Super Mario entry.
I would love that.
I'm gonna say $4.99.
Okay. Man, you got my thing. I was gonna say Odyssey 2 as well. I will say we are going to see, because I don't want to choose something like Metroid Prime. That's lame. It will definitely be there. And I'm gonna say, we are going to see the Breath of the Wild remaster in 4K. And we are going to be introduced to the Nintendo Switch 2 upgrade plan, because we've already heard them talk about the enhanced edition. Whether that's going to be through the Nintendo Switch Online or we have to buy these games outright, there is going to be upgrades for the Switch 2 versions of each game. And for price, I have to go with Josh. It's going to be $500. While they loved it at $450 or $400, the world is different. Even though this thing is going to be probably a decade old tech-wise, it is going to have enough features that people will pay $500. And Nintendo never likes to go into a loss to sell their products. Yeah, boys, I can't wait. If we did this full time as a dream living lifestyle job, I would love us to stream it, because I'm going to be watching that thing. I'm going to be kissing it. I'm going to be kissing my monitor the whole time and waiting for those pre-orders to go live.
That Steam Deck's going to get jealous, man.
Steam Deck, I kiss it every night before I go to bed.
I'm waiting for my Xbox handheld.
It's never coming. It's never coming, man. But get yourself a Switch 2 day one launch. Buy 4, sell 3.
When's the pre-order dropping for that?
We don't know. April 2nd or April 9th are the rumors. Supposedly Switch 2 comes out in June. We're going to find out if
it drops
soon.
Tomorrow, as far as the price.
Oh, it will be a Wednesday. I guess when you listen to this.
Wednesday, excuse me. Yeah, Wednesday. If that drops on Wednesday, then April 2nd.
Okay. I might try to put this out tomorrow, actually, just because, which will be Tuesday when you listen to the day before the Switch 2 Direct. Man. We got it. So all of our predictions come true, and you said, oh, man, they made this after. No, we didn't. You listened to us before. You knew we were true and honest. Okay, that was a great, fun time chatting and yakking and doing all these things. Anything else you want to close with? I know we got some Lakers fast break coming up on the Pop Culture Cosmos. And we're going to do some more Super BS here soon. Check us out on Instagram and email us at superbsgamescast@gmail.com. Anything that you have to add? Jank Despised One.
Everyone just wants to see Diddy Kong Racing come back in some form. So just give the people what they want.
Amen. Super. BS.